welcome for Florence. I'm really excited to host you on SW Podcast. We are honored to have you on this. Welcome to SW Podcast.
Thank you very much, Kunal. Nice. Thank you very much for having me, and I'm very much looking forward for the discussion.
No, I just coincidentally I just read your article on India also that you have mentioned in Viva. We'll discuss later on. So I think you have some you have mentioned some good things about India and everything is concerned. We'll cover on that. So I think Florence, I'm really excited to understand about your career. I think I have been also in accounting profession for almost 26 years, and especially the era around 2007-8, generally everyone was supposed to do the traditional thing, be it audit, tax, and other work. You were the one who has pivoted from a risk advisory role to IT consulting to IT audit to founder of Mazars X Factory. I don't know how much people knows about it, but I think this podcast they will show. And now to the CTO, the Chief Transformation Officer, not the Chief Technology Officer. So I'm really excited to learn about your professional journey and especially the present role. Seems so it's exciting time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see that you have good information on my profile and my career so far. But indeed, the way you tell it here, it sounds like I had many different lives. But this is just the past 20 years, absolutely, where I initially started at Mazars back then, serving both IT audit and IT risk consulting for many years in different industries, starting mainly in manufacturing, and then I switched to banking, and I expanded a bit in terms of industries. And I think that's, the world was changing so fast, has been changing so fast for the past 2 decades, that I was just part of that. So I started on IT, where we were just going through digitization and a bit of automation. And then data came in. So I was always challenging the way we work. And that's probably how I got to switch a bit my role and to be more involved into transformation projects, innovation. And then we saw AI coming in, and I could really see the market moving super fast. And that's why I wanted really to keep that connection to the world. And the X Factory, you mentioned it, and I'm very glad because this is something really close to my heart, is a startup accelerator, because I do believe strongly that we all need to watch on what's happening outside. It's not because we're a large international firm that we know everything and we can anticipate every shift on the market. We need that connection. And that's why then I indeed founded the X Factory, the Forvis Mazars X Factory. And it's an amazing journey. I meet extraordinary people every day, entrepreneurs from all over the world. And that actually keeps me really always challenging myself, plus the firm I'm working in, on how we do things. And that's super exciting.
No, I agree, Florence. Obviously, I meet with a lot of people on our profession and on other side also. And being part of this profession for so long, you understand the dynamics, thought process, and all that. I would say definitely this X Factory and the reason due to the X Factory you were able to meet so many people is helping you to pivot and maybe think over differently than the traditional. We accountants are very conservative, as you know, and I am very sure you will be having a challenging time to transform their thought process also. But that's, I think, just my journey also. I was also in Mazars in almost 10 years till 2015. Then I started my firm. And then when I started meeting people on the business side, that helped me in terms of thinking differently than just an accountant or maybe a tax advisor on that is concerned. And then that's really helped. And Florence, I think I'm not sure, but you are part of governance council at Forvis Mazars also. I'm not sure, but you seems to be the youngest one in that council, or board member, I think.
Yes, you're right. I'm now a member of the group executive committee at Forvis Mazars, serving as the Chief Transformation Officer. And I say serving because it really matters a lot to me. The way I perceive my role is being at the service of our teams, So as of today, more than 100 countries, different service lines can be about audit and assurance, outsourcing, advisory, consulting. So really trying to serve them with all the ingredients of transformation. The ingredients that we all know of as of today, automation, data, AI, technology, and the ingredients we're not even aware they exist yet. Or maybe they're not mature yet on the market. Can be about digital assets and crypto, can be about quantum computing. When is it going to happen? What's going to happen on the market? So my role is really to try to connect all the transformative ingredients and to bring them in so that the business teams can actually reinvent the way they work and reinvent the way they serve our clients.
No, I think it could be the more exciting time for you being a chief transformation officer.
I think so. You're
That
right. You're right.
I think there are both way. From a technology wise, this is the most, I think the most after internet era, this is the most technology change which is happening in our, I think the society, I would say, as a whole, not only the business but as a society also. And obviously, because there is a so big shift change, so the people are forced to think over and change themselves also, or otherwise they'll not be relevant. But at the same time, the kind of change is happening is difficult to foresee, which is going to be relevant, what is going to be the right business model, technology, although a lot of things are concerned. So opportunity and challenge is coming at the same time.
Absolutely. And no one has the answer yet.
Yeah.
And I don't think, by the way, that there is one answer. Because that transformation that we're going through right now, especially with AI, it's like no other. You would take what happened on technology in organizations, let's say 20 years ago. Everyone was switching to ERPs, the
Yeah.
SAP, Oracle, GD Edwards of the world. I mean, everyone was going through that curve, but it was a slow one. It would take 5 to 10 years minimum to implement one.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah, mainly impacting the back office processes and not everyone in the firm and etc. And then you saw emerging the next trend, which was about workflows, digitization, electronic signature, getting rid of paper. And that was really another shift, but same. It took a decade to get rid of
Yeah.
paper in organizations, and we still have some. I still see some books and stuff behind you. Um, and then data came in, and we saw that with data, we created something that really broke the frontiers, meaning that IT was not fully controlling data
Yeah.
solutions. There was some shadow IT, as we call it. Business teams were trying to get interest in there and to implement it by themselves. And it was going much faster. In 2 to 5 years, teams
Yeah.
were actually adopting data analytics solutions. And now with AI, it has only been 3 years, I believe, since we got the GPT thing
Yeah.
going public. And in only a few months, you could see AI getting in the organization, getting on the workbenches of from juniors to senior partners, from accounting to legal to all services. So not only it's piling on the other transformations with which we are not over yet,
Yeah.
but on top of it, it's going much faster. So that's why it's at the same time a bit frightening because it's going so fast, but super exciting because it means that we have a lot to do to reinvent ourselves and we can help our clients as well. We can help other firms.
No, I agree, Florence. I think you rightly put out. I think one is we were obviously digitizing a lot of manual work to the automation side of the work is concerned, and obviously there was no push, there was no so much change of technology also faster, which forced us. Yeah, and if you see maybe last 30, 40 years, not only in accounting firm, I think on overall on business side, accounting and finance side. One is ERP, which has been the technology disruption, I would say, the bigger change. Another could be the Excel tool, I would say, that has made things differently. Otherwise, other things are just an automation, digitization. How can we improve the efficiency is concerned? But definitely, this AI is disrupting like anything. And if you see last December, Claude was, I don't think so many people were speaking. It was ChatGPT or Copilot. Suddenly after January is Claude. Every year, every you wake up in the morning, they have roll out some another tool, and there are companies, their market cap is suddenly down on the hill.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's changing super fast. So we don't know what January 2027 will look like, by the way. And we see as well that this is creating a new world, and that's I'm getting very serious about that right now when I talk to my clients. A new world of dependencies.
Yeah.
Because before that, you would use a software, you would just buy licenses, and you were good for the next 20 years. Now you depend on a few providers which are really dominating the world, but you're going to create a dependency because we are talking about huge investment, not just about
Yeah.
fancy stuff and a few tokens here and there. But you know that now it's a geopolitical topic as well on who
Yeah.
can access which models and etc. So it creates a new complexity, a new world of uncertainty, and that's why it's really interesting to see organizations and to get them to reflect on what are my dependencies? Am I comfortable with these dependencies? And how do I manage that for the future? How do I keep some agility while I'm well aware I'm dependent? And it's fine. So I never trust anyone when they say we are fully independent, we are fully sovereign, I mean, we all run on the same chips, semiconductors, the same providers. So, but how do you manage that? How do you leverage and find the right level of balance and control?
Oh, I agree with Florence. I think this is the first time where in technology the geopolitical issue has come up and is increasing. In any case, previously in any technology innovation, there was no geopolitical link, but now this has started, as you know. But I think Florence, I think we have maybe I'll just keep take you back in terms of the basic thing on a AI thing is concerned because that's where let's start that from that point of view. How do you see the AI technology from a point of view of accounting or finance or our client also, not only we as a firm, but the client also, is an opportunity, is a disruption? How do you assess this technology on an overall
It's an
basis?
yeah, it's an amazing opportunity because when we talk about AI, I mean, let's focus on the words. Everyone is using AI. Artificial intelligence. And the word intelligence means that it goes way beyond artificial information or just data processing. We're talking about intelligence. And I think it's really worth reflecting there to find the intent we want to put when we use AI.
Mm.
And when it comes to accounting, finance, consulting, advisory, tax compliance, whatever, what we do is basically what the study is called cognitive work, meaning that we take information, which is information, can be data, can be laws, regulation, documents, information. We compute it, we process it based on, hey, intelligence. Can be our expertise, can be our knowledge of jurisdictions, frameworks, international standards, whatever, experience. We combine it with that, and then we give an output. Can be an opinion, can be a report, can be an analysis, whatever. That's cognitive work. Indeed, AI is an amazing opportunity to really, really amplify our expertise when it comes to doing that analysis, that comparison, improving it, doing some iterations. But, and there is a very interesting study that shows that from last summer, there is one small layer that cannot be replaced.
Yeah.
People usually call it the judgmental part. It's even more precise than that. It's what they call the payoff judgment. Identify what matters most. And we see it on a day-to-day basis. You're going to put a prompt in GPT, Claude, whatever. It's going to retrieve something and you're going to say, yeah, can you do it better? Okay, second option. But still, it's your own brain at some point that's going to say, okay, I'm going to keep that part. That one, I'm just going to get rid of it. And then I'm going to ask another question. And that's payoff judgment. And here it means that we have an amazing opportunity with AI to improve the efficiency and the implementation part and immediate improvement part. And now to invest on what we really love and what we've been choosing this career for, which is the pay of judgment,
Yeah,
to which we can then dedicate more training, more time, more client interaction, and etc.
yeah.
So it's just shifting the perspective on why we've chosen these jobs. I don't think anyone chose these jobs because they just wanted to be doing PowerPoints and Excel files. That's not why they did that.
No, it's,
I do believe they chose that job because they loved understanding complex topics,
yeah,
trying to combine them with something that is a combination between expertise and gut feeling, and then providing that outcome. And you just don't send a report, you talk to
yeah,
someone. And how are you going to use AI to improve the client interaction? It's
yeah.
fascinating, absolutely fascinating.
No, I agree, Florence. I think you rightly said we inspired to follow this or follow this path of career to solve the client problems, to give value proposition to our client. Then they're just doing the manual work and all that. There may be a subset of the things overall of the scheme is concerned, but that's not the outcome we are looking for. And that's where I think the people are finding challenging in terms of mindset shift is concerned. They thought they are just supposed to do audit testing, they are supposed to do just tax filings and all that, where they were generating money also, I would say.
Mm.
That's where the challenge is going to be there. And on the AI is concerned, obviously, when people say it is not perfect and all that is concerned, I said that's the right. Let's have them not to be perfect. If they become perfect, then it's going to be more challenging for us. What challenge you think today? Because we want they should not get into our shoes of judgment and solving problem and all that. If they become so perfect to solve that also, then we have bigger challenge.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think it gets us to
Yeah.
ask the right questions.
No, I agree, agree. And that's why I think clients are also testing whether our judgment is better or cloud judgment is better.
Absolutely.
You not believe in one of our client interaction, we were starting discussion and he said, "Can I please record our discussion on ChatGPT?" How can you say no? And he started recording, and then the whatever we were giving, he was just checking on ChatGPT, what more question I should ask, and blah blah blah
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, it can go into some extreme use cases, and that's where we need to raise awareness as well on
Yeah,
what AI really is, in terms of accuracy,
uh,
in terms of impact, financial impact. I mean, it does cost money and quite a lot of money, and with infrastructure getting more expensive every day,
yeah.
sustainable use of AI is now a topic for the board, and it's something not to neglect. And that's where I'm always, well, yeah, we start trainings. For instance, I start trainings by explaining how amazing a Google search can be sometimes,
Yeah.
because it's pretty accurate. It's cheap, not
Yeah.
only cheap financially speaking, but as well for the environment and etc. And it's fine. But on other tasks, of course, please make good use of AI and unleash the power of AI.
I agree with Flores. So first, now comes to the more difficult questions, which I think our people, a lot of there's discussion around it these days, especially on the business side and people side. Let's start with the people side. I think since you are leading transformation, I think you must be experienced also. A lot of people are there are three brackets of people who say it will not have impact, it may have, and there are third category people, they say no, definitely there is an impact, we have to change not tomorrow but yesterday. So how do you see the people thought process? Because I think till the time, especially in our profession, is not automated, is a judgment based, and a lot of things are people driven only. We are a people driven organization. Till the time mindset is not aligned, it's very difficult to put the AI into use also, and then give solution to the client also.
Mm. No, you're right, and we can hear about that skepticism and different tribes,
Yeah,
depending on their appetite and their beliefs regarding AI. But that's where I always recommend that we shift the discussion, because it's I mean, access to AI is now here.
yeah,
Everyone has access to AI. So AI is turning into a commodity. The question now is, what do you want to do with that? What is your business?
yeah,
What are your values? What make us us? What are the know-hows, the knowledge, and etc.? And then, okay, how can AI amplify that
yeah,
DNA that is our DNA? If you just use AI as a commodity on top of what you're doing, indeed, you're going to increase your costs. I'm not even sure you're going to get that efficiency immediately, by the way, because
yeah.
it's significant cost that you will still have and change management and etc.
Um,
And you won't nurture your DNA, your brand, the client perception.
yeah,
If you think in another manner and you say, okay, I'm well aware AI is now a commodity, but it's super powerful.
yeah,
I care about what I am and the value proposition I have for the market. And so I'm going to work on how to amplify that, how to amplify the payoff judgment of my consultants with AI. Then I think we get immediate impact, and we see that we can get on the right ground of discussions even with the more skeptical audience, because we're talking about their business. And then
yeah,
you go to a financial advisor, not just to say, okay, can we have a chat about AI and how it's going to disrupt your processes? You say,
yeah,
okay, what makes you interesting for clients? What makes a difference when you pitch a client? And then
yeah,
he's going to say, oh, well, what makes a difference is because I have this kind of expertise, or I'm able to combine these people, or I'm able to operate over the world. Okay, let's see how AI, and it happens to be AI today, and I don't know what it will be tomorrow. Let's see how technology can help
yeah,
amplifying that. And very often it won't replace, data replaces.
yeah,
Yes, automation replaces. A lot of people are saying, yeah, we put AI and we've been changing that process. You're like, okay, I don't think you put AI. I think you put automation and data and a bit of generative AI by the end, and that's
yeah,
it. So it's really about shifting the ground of conversation to
yeah.
refocus on what matters, meaning knowledge, processes, know-hows, competitive differentiator, and then putting AI in there, well,
Yeah.
technology in there.
No, I agree. I think, Florence, it is a, I think, as you rightly said, it's just a perspective you have to see. Obviously, you have to accept the impact also, and then you have to see the opportunity also. That's where the thing, if you just remaining focused on the impact and not finding the opportunity, or opportunity and not the impact, the thing, you will not have the right strategy to overcome the, or maybe relevant in the new world is concerned. And I think first you will agree with, I don't know, you can share your thought process. I feel, especially, I'm not the size of Big Four is concerned. And, in our, I'm not sure about your France, but other countries also where there may be smaller firms, they were always challenged by Big Four, not primarily from the capability point of view, but technology point of view, because they were able to invest so much of technology at that group level, at they have scale, size, and they can distribute that technology over all the firms and all that. But I think what AI, cloud, or technology has helped to be level playing field. Now I also have that technology, say way there before maybe were having earlier. Now I can go to the market, that was a client, that I have the technical capability, I have the technology, I have the solution, then let's engage us. So that's also one way perspective to, for the new opportunity which we were not able to get because of the technology.
Yes, and that's well, I'm very curious to see what the market will look like then with that technology shift. I was attending the International Accounting Forum in London 2 weeks ago, and you could see the conversations of mid-sized firms, mid-tier firms saying, well, we don't have, I mean, they see the potential of AI, but at the same time, they see the huge investments it
Yeah,
requires. And so they're really a bit feeling in between, saying we don't have that investment capability. So which software that embeds AI shall we partner with or shall we buy, so that we can get the benefits of AI while we cannot on ourselves invest in these AI capabilities. And that can be a strategy and a choice they make, but that will increase the level of dependency for sure. And that might shift the conversation, as I was saying earlier, to AI on top of the rest and not embedding the AI directly in their processes. Another strategy would be to say, especially for those that have more investment capability, let's build strong partnerships. Let's build one global partnership with an AI provider or whatever. I'm not sure that it's a sustainable one. Because when you're serving, especially internationally, multiple sizes of clients, multiple industries, you need to stay very agile and agnostic in terms of technology so that you can fit in different environments. So the in-between is probably something a bit hybrid, saying, okay, for the things on which I do not make a competitive advantage, I can take something off the shelf and it's fine. Because that's not my intellectual property and I won't make a difference on it. It's a commodity. And on the rest, where it does matter, pair of judgment, identify what matters most. Precisely on this, let's be super smart and let's invest massively there. Whatever your investment capability is, 80% should go there. So we will see how, depending on the size and the firepower of each firm, what their strategy is. But yeah, there is no one easy path, and it's not just investment capability that will make a difference. I think the how will make a huge difference.
No, I agree with Florence. I think a lot of dynamics in play and a lot of things are going to evolve. And especially maybe since you have mentioned it, now I think the fundamental question which another we have to evolve over the say next 2, 3, 4 years also, that we want to obviously we are a professional service provider firm. We have to see we have to stick to this DNA, or we want to tilt to a technology come professional firm, or we just want to be professional serve and then underlying technology that then we partner with the technology companies. I think that's where a lot of evolution has to go and a lot of disruption is going to happen and already happening, especially if you seeing the US market. And I'm also there are certain firms who are building technology on accounting firm side or accounting side and all that, where they are building like their end to end everything will be done by the technology. You just see this is right and then push it to the client.
You're absolutely right. And we see this market shift. And earlier this week, again, a few tech providers are now building their consulting capabilities. So not only the AI providers, but as well the accounting software providers. And they're trying to expand on the value chain to get to include some consulting capabilities on top, AI capabilities, and etc. So they are indeed trying to disrupt that market. And that's good news because we need good competition. It's always super good to get by your side people that are really improving their game level every day. That's super exciting. Where I believe there is a difference is that you cannot, and once again, shifting to what intelligence is, the core intelligence of a professional services firm stands with the people, the expertise, the knowledge, the know-how, the operating procedures we've been running for years, client connection we have, and etc. And that you cannot actually replace. You cannot steal it. You can acquire the whole firm, but you just cannot steal it or make it artificial. And that's where there will always be a difference. So it's up to us to reinvent ourselves by considering these market shifts and how others are positioning to leverage on what makes us us. And you cannot pretend to be at the same time. I was looking at seeing a few rankings this morning. You cannot be an IT firm, a global IT firm, and at the same time pretend you're a professional services firm really focusing on human value. And at some point, it's not the same operating model. It's just not the same. So you can have two different firms, fine. But we need to stick to what makes us us. And then we will see how we get to be tech-enabled. And for me, yes, these professional services firm, we need to shape our model to be tech-enabled AI powered, whatever the name we use, but by sticking at the core, what is our core value proposition to the market?
No, I agree with you, Florence. I think that's where I think a lot of discussions are happening, different views are there. But according to me, I think I align with your view also that ultimately we have to stick to our DNA, which is we are a professional service firm. We are into the business of judgment, trust, and relationship. We have to keep it the foundation the same, and then obviously pivot it in terms of using technology. It could be AI, it could be XYZ in the futures to come. But if we try to pivot ourselves from this DNA to be a Accenture or Capgemini, then I think we are going to shoot our foot ourselves only, because that's where we're not able to stand also, because they are already big enough and large. They have the expertise which we don't have.
Exactly, and we have expertise that they don't have. So it's
Yeah.
really how to navigate in that market by investing and keeping investing or on the assets we have.
Yeah.
And we know our assets. It's that payoff judgment, it's that expertise, it's decades of experience, it's the people we have with us. And so it's really to see how we can use technology to amplify that,
Yeah.
to maximize it, and not just to replace it by technology, because we would be trying to mimic a firm that we're not.
No, obviously, I think one thing is important is the trust factor or the goodwill factor, which, say, example, we as professional have gained over the years, over 100 years, for example, as I understand, say this industry is relevant for 100 years. So we have to, I think, keep it hold of it, make it relevant for next 100 years also. Whatever the technology is, I don't know, after 5 years, something super AI or triple AI or something else is going to come. But if we have not, and obviously we have to increase value for a client, reduce inefficiency, reduce like we have started what we are here for judgment and all, not for the clerical or manual work. That should not be our premises and basis to charge client. Rather, our basis should be the value proposition or the professional judgment we are giving to our client. That should be our basis as individual also, and that should, I think, should go upward as a business model also.
No, absolutely. And I think you mentioned it. The key question and all conversations should start today on how to embrace AI, blah, blah, by what makes you relevant. And no one will tell you, hey, I'm super cheap. That's what makes me relevant. I don't think they will tell you that. They will answer, I've got the expertise, I've got the people, I've got the, I don't know. And this is where we need to amplify. And that's probably the first question to ask anyone on a conversation on AI. What makes you relevant and what will make you relevant in the future?
No, I understand. I agree with Florence. So, Florence, I think that's where another debate is going on. So, obviously, as we said, this is okay. The manual and the low end of the work should not be done, or it is going to be replaced by AI. So, definitely, it is going to be have a deflation factor on the revenue of the firms are concerned. And first is what is your view whether it will be having a deflation factor, not immediately, maybe over a period of 3 to 5 years. It can't happen in first year, in 1 year. And second is, if it is going to be deflation, so how we are going to have more opportunities in terms of increasing the revenue or the incomes of the people who are working in this firm, because that's also very important. Because we were before this AI also, we were struggling in terms of attracting the best talent which is available in the market, because we are not able to give the best euros and best dollars to them as compared to the peers. Nothing bad about it. That's where I think there is no one firm to blame it. I think that's where the as a industry, we that's a challenge we were facing otherwise also.
That's a good ground of discussion, but I think it's not that simple. Meaning
Yeah.
that we will gain in efficiency on a few tasks and procedures. Yes, that will bring some efficiency, which, by the way, we are confident that in the long run, it might generate some savings here and there. but investment is huge. And not only the tech investment, but investment in change management, in security around that, it is
Yeah.
huge. And the market gets more complex every day. You take audit and assurance. We used to do financial audit. Now we need to switch to non-financial audits. On
Yeah.
top of it, regulations are adding each and every
IFRS
day.
18 has come up.
Absolutely. So it's getting at the same time more complex every day. So I'm not sure that on the revenue itself, it will have such an impact first because of that scope topic. Um, Second is that beyond the efficiency, and that's from the moment we implement technology to the moment we deliver it to clients, of course, we need to capture the value better.
Yeah.
Meaning that even for CFOs, sometimes we get clients to invite us to speak technology, and the CFO is not around the table. And they're like, yeah, but we did not invite them because they're just here to capture the investments. I'm like, I don't think so. Now they need to capture the investments, by the way, not only money, but time, etc. And they need to capture the value. In our business model, we need to spend more time capturing the value we are generating at each step of the process. And
Yeah.
that's what we will base our pricing on from now on. It's true. A few decades ago, it was only time spent because that's how we were measuring costs and value.
Yeah.
I think we have all started capturing the value because we have some different pricing models and etc. But we need really to accelerate on that within the industry to make sure that our finance teams, our control teams, spend more time on capturing the value of every euro, dollar, penny, whatever we put in the machine. What values does it generate? Where? Is it for the client? Is it for the employee experience? Etc. etc. And so, yes, we will shift and we are shifting from a timesheet pricing model and invoicing model to a
Yeah.
value one. But I'm not that sure about the drop in the revenues due to all changes happening at the same time.
Yeah. No, I agree, Florence. I think how I close this debate in our discussion, maybe within the firm or outside firm, I say assume our revenue is 100. Let's, for the adverse point of view or very conservative, let's take that 30% is going to deflate. Let's accept. We are not going to the client and say reduce our price. That's not going to happen. But let's internally think that 30% is going to come down. And our goal was to reach 120, and now we at 70. Let's think over it how we can build 70 to 50, the new 50 opportunities. Say example, if you are able to make and build new opportunity out of 50, say 40, and we are just able to reduce stick our reduction deflation by 10, you will be a 90 plus 40 130. So that's a better way to think over rather than debating, no, it will not happen. We all not going to go and say, client, please reduce our fees. No one is going to go do that.
No, no, indeed, and that's to me always a very short term, short perspective debate when it's addressed like that.
Yeah,
Because it's much more complex than that, and I mean, you just take a few hours with any board, executive committee in any firm, and
yeah,
you would understand that. So it's a massive shortcut when people say, okay, so we're going to use AI, and then it means that we're going to replace people, save time, invoice less, and whoa, wow, come see us. Let's have a chat, and let's look at the let's take another perspective on the topic.
no, and that's not also possible. I agree with you. It's not like first five steps are going to do by AI and then first say balance five by the people. Then you can define the process and alignment. But here it may every step human being is involved. Even say example, they were supposed to work, they were working for 8 hours in a day, now working 4 hours. You will need that person. Obviously, you can use that person for another client or 4 hours for different. But arithmetically it's easy to say, but practically it's difficult to say
Absolutely.
say a team is working on audit engagement. You can't deploy him for the two engagement at the same time. That's not practically possible. But numerical, you can always say 4 hours, 4 hours. That's easy.
No, no, indeed, you're absolutely right.
So Florence, I think there is another debate which is going on, especially on the US market. If you see, a lot of technology companies coming up where the term like AI native accounting firm, or there are technology companies which are trying to solve do end-to-end work, which say suppose we are to use we are doing it. What is your view on that? Uh, do you think that they can be successful in long term, or do you think they have to partner with the accounting firm only then the things can work right for both
Mhm.
sides? Because we
Mhm.
also need them and they also need them.
Yeah, and if you allow me, I'm gonna use your earlier comment. What makes us relevant?
Yeah.
What makes a tech firm, an IT firm relevant? That they're able to provide super tech products and IT services.
Yeah.
And clients will perceive that.
Yeah.
So when it comes to what makes you, um, how you differentiate yourself, that's what makes a difference in the long term, in the long run. So you might just tell stories to the market to get some investors or private equities or whatever to back you in such a strategy, but that is not on the long run the good strategy, because the difference and the relevance you have is based on your core value and your core differentiator. And that cannot be replaced on or just purchased on the market by hiring a few senior partners here and there. It just cannot work. And that's why you need to be first very aware. And a lot of firms sometimes do not spend enough time asking themselves this question: what makes me relevant?
Yeah.
Why do clients come to me? Ask them. Run these client surveys, the NPS, etc., to know exactly what it feels like to be served by your teams. What is the experience you're delivering, and why do they come back? Why do they appreciate it? And this is what you have to invest on so that you can nurture it for the future. And then you can build partnerships sometimes with some other firms because you
Yeah.
feel like this is not my DNA. So I'm not going to fake it. I'm going to take the best one on the market, build an alliance, and we're going to go chasing together. But it requires a lot of awareness and a lot of work from the firms. And that's where it's always very interesting when we accompany a few clients on embracing AI. We spend the first weeks talking about who they are and doing some market positioning study and some
Yeah.
employee surveys. Why do you join that firm? What
Yeah.
attracted you in that firm?
Yeah.
Okay, let's invest on that and let's see how technology can amplify it.
No, I agree with you, Florence. I think I also have the same view, exactly what you're saying. And I'm going to speak with one of the this technology company who has just made some good technology on AI side on our business is concerned, and he has already got a lot of investment checks and interest from a lot of venture capitalists and P fund also. And he, I'm going to speak the same thing what you have already, what we are discussing together. So that's why we also, because I think just technology, if you go into the because I give you another example, anecdote or data point also. Obviously, AI is very fast, better technology, I would say, as compared to. But before that, also there were a lot of offshore of the shell technology available for tax filings, for accounting. A lot of things are concerned was available otherwise also. If we just go back to 2023 also, but they were always being part or not. They were not top of it. Then rather they were supporting in terms of accounting firms are concerned or the businesses are concerned, but they were not top of it. Top of it were the people who have the skill set, who has the judgment, and people on our side is concerned. So why they were not able to make it top of it? There was a reason. And their technology was also good if we go backflash to the previous period also.
No, no, you're right, and that's interesting and to see how by the way on professional services firms and it was mainly on IT services firm, but still the balance that we will have to find between nearshoring, offshoring, outsourcing some
Yeah.
activities and bringing in technology. And I always say it's not binary, guys. It's not black or white because
Oh,
you will use capabilities and the right capabilities wherever they're located as well to leverage on technology. So it's not tech or outsourcing, or it's how you use, as of today, your capabilities around the globe to
Yeah.
serve your clients so that you
Yeah.
remain relevant.
No, I agree. I think the objective has to be how can you serve the best to the client, maximize their benefit and maximize your business objective also. That's I think three way you have to ensure.
Exactly.
And there is no one
Exactly.
fix to it.
No,
That
no, no.
do it this one, all that.
No,
So,
indeed.
Flora, I think another aspects which is being in discussion a lot from a talent perspective. I think especially for the young people who are getting into this profession or accounting field is concerned. I think that's where I think the lot of I think there are numbers also. Graduate hiring is down by X percentage, Y percentage, and all that is concerned. That's one thing. I think the other thing which is important is that obviously I am also not sure. I think I don't think everyone nowhere in the world is also sure. So what kind of skill set we will be requiring from the young people is concerned, because say in earlier where they used to start with the small work, say if that get replaced by AI, then they are supposed to they'll be doing, and for that what skill set they should be ready from a education perspective also, maybe training perspective also. I think that's also an open discussion which has to evolve. I don't think anyone has clear answer on it, but I'm happy to
Yeah.
take your view on this.
No, indeed, I don't want to disappoint you, but I don't have the clear answer either. No, that's the talent topic is the first most important topic when it comes to AI. Because we're talking about shifts in the way we operate. And we are talking once again about intelligence, which was something that back then, before AI, you would start accumulating as a junior and then switch to senior, and then you would pile up expertise, knowledge, experience as you would go with the years.
Yeah,
AI makes a lot of knowledge available and
yeah,
expertise and frameworks and standards that before that you would find in the brains or
yeah,
in some documents here and there. So it changes. I mean, the first main impact is on talents. It's not on cost, efficiency, whatever. It's on how do you drive that change,
yeah,
considering your talents, because we are professional services. Our main asset remains our people. And here, indeed, we see that we need to look for profiles that do have first that agility, because we know what's changing right now. We don't know what will be coming next. I was talking to some students on Monday afternoon, and they are AI native. They all use
yeah,
AI each and every day. Okay, but what will be the thing that will be disrupt their activities in 20 years from now? I have no clue. As we didn't have any clue that AI would pop
yeah,
up right now when we started earlier. So we have to work first on agility skills to make sure they're able to embrace change, because we're going to change a bit with AI. We don't know if AI will be that sustainable, that all over, and etc. And we know that something else will come after. What will it
yeah,
be? I'm not sure. We need people that have some tech appetite. That's
yeah.
for sure. We cannot
That's
have
for
people that
yeah.
are tech adverse like that. It won't work. It will be tough.
Yeah,
Because they need that tech appetite, and not only the IT appetite or the tool appetite, but as well because they need to be aware of what it is and what it's not, and what are the risks with that. Talking about AI, we know that we need that human in the loop, but not just as one validation step. We need it because it's not 100% accurate, and it
yeah,
will never be.
yeah,
That's just the way it is. So we need them to be aware and skeptical enough. And that's amazing, because usually when you hire people in these fields, they're skeptical by design. So we need to really nurture that very early in their careers, so that they foster and they know how to check, how to double check, how to be
yeah,
very skeptical on the output of technology, and as well on the risk regarding data, client data, confidentiality issues. And we know that risk, cyber risks, are going to increase. So
yeah,
we need to make sure they're aware and able to get the right expertise as they go. And then we need to build them a very, very strong payoff judgment skill.
Yeah. I
How
agree.
do you identify what matters most? And that they will follow exactly the same path. A
Yeah.
junior won't be that good at identifying what matters most. He will need practicing. He will practice until he makes it a senior. And then he will be a bit better. He will start teaching a junior on how to do it. But still, the manager will have a way more accurate payoff judgment. And that you
Yeah.
cannot just take it from an AI or GPT in the morning. It just
Impossible.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
Payoff judgment will be that muscle on which you will still need to train and to
Yeah.
get experience along the way.
No, I agree with you, Florence. I think as you start with no clear answer, confusion is there, same way. And frankly speaking, my son is just graduated this year only, this month from Warwick University, UK. And I'm also confused about him, ki what he should do in the future is concerned. Because one point I'm very clear what he has done or what the theoretical learning is there may is not very much relevant. It could to have learning and knowledge to make it relevant from a professional point of view. Thing has to evolve.
Yeah, but once again, you mentioned the keyword. What will make him relevant tomorrow?
Yeah, that's more important. That's
And
where we
that's
have
what
to think of
he
it.
exactly, and that's what he needs to reflect on okay, what do I want people to think I'm relevant for in the future?
Uh, no, I think to my mind, the answer is very clear. Micro level, very clear. If someone wants to be in this business or profession, we have to have judgment, problem solving, DNA, and this kind of basic thing. And now within this DNA, the broader landscape or broader objective, you have to fit yourself. It could be cybersecurity expertise, it could be business
Mm,
advisory, it could
mm,
be anything you think you have the skill set, you have the interest, and you can help the organizations and companies. That's a,
absolutely.
but the only pivot which we have to see how to reach that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. But this the skill set, and by the way, it's the most fascinating and interesting skill set to acquire because that
Yeah,
you cannot just acquire in by reading a book or by reading a by asking
no,
GPT to teach you each and every morning during 10 minutes. Doesn't work.
it requires a lot of hard work and time also, both sides.
Absolutely, time and experience.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we get back to
obviously.
something that is very fundamental, which is you will still need experience.
Uh, no, I agree, agree. Something comes with the experience and age also. You can't shortcut it.
Not always.
So,
Sometimes you can try, but you can speed up, but no, there is no direct
yeah,
shortcut.
exceptions are always there, but not the normal
Yeah,
scenario.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
so Florence, just if I can put future hat on you, if say example, if we are having same discussion in say in 2030, what do you think at that time the landscape will be about an accounting firm, the from fundament structurally, from service point of view, and maybe talent point of view also.
Yeah. I'm well, 2030 is like tomorrow. And I'm always a bit worried about the pace.
Yeah,
Because I really think we're not going fast enough, and I'm trying to accelerate as much as I can, but I can see that the market is still
yeah,
sometimes a bit stuck. Market regulation is not moving that fast,
yeah,
and client readiness. Even though there is AI hype all over the place, clients are not that ready to embrace
yeah,
AI.
yeah,
Their data foundation is not that ready to
yeah,
embrace AI. So I'm afraid that 2030 is still a bit of a short term when it comes to really having that profound change. But still, I believe that in the next decade, let's say, we will see professional services firm and accounting ones really embedding technology and AI at the core of what they do. And by the way, it's not the case for all of them yet, just by digitization and data analytics. We already have a gap here. So it
yeah,
will be kind of a call to action for those
yeah,
that are a bit behind. Are they able to catch up on data first and
yeah,
then on AI? I'm a bit worried about how the market is going to shift there because it requires strong investment capabilities, as we said earlier. I believe some will try to shift to pure IT and etc. And it might not be flying in a long-term perspective because you need to stick to who you are and your DNA. So you cannot play on all fields at the same time. That doesn't work. It requires some focus. And I believe our talents will be, of course, different profiles, meaning that those that we choose to join our firms, they will do it in a very deliberate manner. They will know exactly what they're looking for here. And not just because, after university, it's kind of usual stuff to go to do some accounting, finance, or consulting. They will come with very clear expectations. So that puts a lot of pressure on us to serve them, saying, okay, I come here because I feel like I can make a difference on that specific topic. Okay. So that will be a whole new game.
Bring some innovations.
Yes, absolutely. And that's good because it keeps us on our toes to be reflecting on, okay, how do we attract them? How do we onboard them? And how do we build career paths for them that won't look like ours, for sure.
I think we need people like you who are there to innovate. We don't need a traditional accountant who just want to follow 1+1+1+ equal to. I
Or
think
you need to be a bit schizophrenic sometimes.
yeah. I generally use this statement very regularly. 1+1 is equal to 2. 3 minus 1 is also equal to 2. So think like that.
You're right. That's good for accountants.
No, I think that's the big, like I'm the managing partner, that's the big time factor or effort I have to put to change the mindset of the people. They are so by the book, they are so traditional, they are so conservative, which may be good in, say, 10 years back, I would say, not even 10 years back, relevant last 5 years. I think that's take a lot of time to change their mindset, and especially the older people, the more experience they have, the more rigid they are to change. I would say, sorry to
Might
say.
be, but if you ask them what will make you relevant in 5 years,
Yeah.
we might shift the conversation.
Oh, that's true. I agree with you. So, Fly, I think we have already covered the time schedule, but maybe I'll end with make it some interesting with a rapid fire, so that if you allow me, I can have some questions with you.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So, one technology every accounting firm must invest in during the next 3 to 5 years. What do you think? Which technology?
AI, not but just AI, but intelligence powered by technology.
Yeah, I agree. AI is optimism or a hype?
Optimism, it's a hype, of course, but I'm very, very optimistic in what it can bring.
No, I agree with you. Hype is for wrong reason, but for real reason, I think it has a lot of value. You have to see
Absolutely.
with the right eyes
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
right judgment.
Yeah.
So, I think build, buy, or partner, which innovation strategy you think would be relevant or makes wins?
Yeah, you're right. Buy what is a commodity to you, build what makes a difference, partner when you need to move fast.
No, I agree. Biggest misconception about AI in accounting? What do you say?
AI is going to replace everything we do. That's but that's a strong stereotype in many firms.
No, I agree. I am hearing a lot of people and a lot of technology saying they are building AI firms and all. They good to them. But I am
Yeah.
also very AI enthusiast, but I am not
Yeah.
enthusiast like this kind of business model or strategy. I think work also.
Mm.
One technology trend people are underestimating. What do you say?
Mm, I'm very much interested right now in looking at what quantum is going to bring in, quantum computing.
Yeah,
Not directly for our business, by the way, but the incredible, unique calculation, computation capabilities it can bring for societies, like on health, for instance, bringing new
yeah,
vaccines, etc. It's absolutely fascinating, and no one is really looking at that. And it will bring a lot of risks, especially on cybersecurity. But
yeah.
so it's something that fascinates me and that a lot of people underestimate because it's both the super bright side and the super dark side encapsulated in one technology. So we'll see how it goes.
No, I agree with you. I think that's another technology which is in the making, I would say. let's see how it goes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We'll have exciting time in the future.
Yeah.
So thank you, Florence, for your time. I really appreciate. I think I had a good time. Really enjoyed your discussion with, especially on the topics which are very is going to evolve in the future. I hope the same at your end also.
Thank you very much. Indeed, it was a very, very interesting discussion. Thanks a lot for having me. And I hope we can reconnect when things move ahead and for the
Yeah,
next technological shift we will have. Thanks a
yeah.
lot.